Okay, so this is another video as I told you last time. It is about deciles. So we have still, these are measures of position, and we're gonna be talking about deciles. Now we have two methods, two new methods in this video. Okay, so last time, so we have considered this univariate distribution, and the formula here was to calculate the percentage. Now today, I'm going to be talking about some particular percentiles called deciles. Okay, so I think the formula doesn't need to change. So we have a situation here. So now we're gonna be talking about this side of order 1 until of order this side of order 9, as it was said last time. Now we have two methods depending on whether we want to use the percentiles by definition of deciles through percentiles, and so another second method is just another formula. Instead of using a percentage, we can now use just another method which can be derived from percentages. But we are not going to derive it in this video. Maybe in another video we can derive this the formula that we are shortly going to be talking about. Now here, let us consider the same univariate distribution. Okay, so here we have talked about how a distribution from 1 until xn can be split into two parts, suppose until some number, some value, and which happens to be the percentile, and then it is split in two parts such that the percent here is below the given value, and 100 minus k percent of the values are above the given percentile. Now today we are going to talk about special decile. So I mean special percentile, and these are deciles x1 until xn, and then suppose some value here xm. Now we have decile, let us call it j, and it will divide here into two parts, so that 10 times j percent of data are below the given value, and 100 minus 10j percentage is of all data is above the given decile value. So we have decile of order j. For example, this is decile value. We are going to call j decile rank or order. Decile order or decile rank. So now this J, as we talked about last time, it extends from 1, 2 until 9. And then, so how to calculate the decile value of order J, for example, decile value of this order. How are we going to calculate it? Okay, this is what we are looking for. So we talked about two methods. So maybe method number 1 here, method 1, first method. Okay, we are looking for, so as a percentile, so dj, this side of order j, so can be, or decile value, so it will be a certain percentile. And which percentile? So that with k equal to 10 j extending from 1 until 9. Okay, so now here, of course, we're gonna, depending on the value of j, we can calculate using this formula, substituting value of k here, and then finding the decile with the first method. Okay, so for example, let us look for the decile of order 1, decile value for order 1. No, maybe for order 2. Let us take for order 2, and decile for order, take for order 6, for example. Of course, it's done the same way. Let us talk about also of order 5. Okay, for this data. Okay, so in that case, we're going to have this side value for order 2, so it will be bk with the 2, so 10 times 2 is going to be 10, so it is the percentile of order 20. So how to calculate it? So we use the formula here. First, we look for a remainder of the division of kn over 100, kn divided by 100. Okay, let us take kn, we have to divide by 100, and here k is equal to 20, k equal to 20, and n is equal to 50. We have 50 values here. Okay, so times 50. So we are going to divide by 100. So this is like 1,000. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, divide by 100. So we are going to get, it must be 10. Right? No, this is not 1,000. It is 10,000 instead. It is 1,000 divided by 100. So it is equal to 10. Okay, so and the remainder is equal to 0. So now, as the remainder is equal to 0, we fall into the first category. So in this case, we're going to find pk is equal to a half of x index x sub k times n. This is 1,000 divided by 100 plus x sub so this division plus 1. Okay, so I add index 1, so and I divide by 2. So doing so, gonna have a half of it will be a half of okay, let me just continue on this side. So this is going to be, so D2, we said it is the percentile of order 20. This is half of x. 1000 divided by 10 is 10. 1000 divided by 100 is 10. Yes, now plus x sub 10 plus 1 is 11. Okay. Substitute. We can substitute x10. So x10 is over here. X10. So it is x10, x sub 10 is 7200 plus x sub 11. X sub 11, we have to look through this. X sub 11. It is over here. Okay, so in this case it is 7280. Okay, now we have to add, and after adding we divide by 2, and what we get is 0 and 8, and then 4, 2 plus 2, 4, then 7 plus 7 is 14. This have to divide by 2, get 7, 14, and we have 4, then 2, 4, have 0, I have 8, 0, then 8 is 4, and 0. So we have, what number is this? Okay, let me check what is when I divide by 2. 42. I have a problem here. So 7, 14, then I have this 4, whereby 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So I have 8, then 4. 4 times 2 is 8, minus 8 is equal to 0. Then I have this one. It is 7240. So which means that our D2, which is equal to a percentile value for order 20, is half of 14480. So this has been equal to 7240. So we have this situation, which means that so it is midway between the element, the 10th element and the 11th element, and that one is D2, this side of order 2. Okay, this you can do this by using also for D6. Okay, now let us calculate it for D6, this side of order 6. This one is equal 7240. Okay, now let us do the same for this side of order 6, the value of that this side. So the formula is going to be the same. It is for 6, so I take instead of 2, so now it's gonna be 3. 3 times no 6, sorry, 6 times 10, it is 60. So now we have for the second one, okay, this side of order 6 value, so this one is going to be D6. D6, so it will be P60. So with K equal to 6, with J equal to 6. Okay, so when we multiply by 10 is 60. So this one is K is equal to 60, J is equal to 6. Okay, so now what do we have? Again, we have to calculate. Again, we have, let us see what we're gonna have. So here I have to take K times N is equal to K is 60 times N, all values. We have N is equal to, so I forgot to tell you N is equal to 50. N, all these data is 60, 50 values. The highest element is 26,580. Okay, so now here we're gonna have 3,000. Now as K times N is 3,000, I'm going to find the value of the remainder, because I'm going checking for the remainder when when I divide by 100, so remainder is 0. Okay, so as the remainder is equal to 0, I think this is correct. 3,000 divided by 100, so this is 30. Okay, 30, so the remainder is equal to 0. So we fall again in the first category. Yeah, first category again. So I think that we'll be having, in all cases, we will have to use the first formula. I think this is, so it is not a way to choose an example, but the calculation is like this. Let us calculate it. Okay, so remainder is equal to 0. So before we use the first formula, which is going to be half of x. So we have 30. Okay, let us see if it is correct. 30. So in the first case, we have found 10, sub 10. Here, sub 30. Okay. For this sub 30, we are going to add x sub 31, because if we divide by this kn over 100, we find 30 plus 1 is 31. Okay, so now let us look at the elements x sub 30. Okay, I'm checking. So x sub 30 is equal to this value. So it is 10,780. Okay, so at 10,780, that is x sub 30. Now we're looking for x sub 31. Checking here and checking here. So let me check over here. It is exactly here. Okay, so now this is 11,000. 430. Okay, I'm gonna continue over here. Okay, so now we have 11, 11, 430 plus 10, 780, then 0, 1, I carry 1, then is 12, 1, 2, then 2. And I have to divide this value by 2, d6, which is p60, is equal to p60. P60 is going to be equal to half of 2210. The sum of these two is going to be equal to 22,210. Okay, so we divide by 2. So by 2 we have 1. 1 times 2 is 2, so 0. Then I have these 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So subtract 0. 2 again. Divided by 2 is 1. And then 2 again. And then 1. So we have 0 and 5. So 11105. Because if I multiply by 2, is adding itself. Get 10, get 2, 2, 2. 22,210. Okay, so this is 22. No, it is 1 sorry, is 1,000, 11,000. This is 11,105. So this is the d6. Okay, so now, okay, so now this is the result here. It is 11,105. So now let us calculate d5 now. d5. So again, let us use this space. This index is going to be so d5 is percentile over the 50. Over the 50. So now we are going to find here we're gonna have j equal to 5. J equal to 5. So we are expecting this P50 or this 5 to be less than in value than D6. It should be less than. So let us now calculate K times N is 50 times 50. So this is 225,000. This is 2,500. Now we need to divide by 100. If we do so, remainder is 0. So now in this case, we take again the first formula. So we look for x sub 25 and the x sub 26, because we're gonna need to add 1 to the now excuse me, we're gonna have to add 1 to this sub of the first element. Okay, so now what do we have here? What do we have here? So here we're gonna have d5, which is p50, is gonna be equal to half of x25. Okay, I have to go through this x25. So here we don't have x25, x sub 25, x sub 25, not here. X sub 25 is over here. So this is x sub 25. Now x sub 26, fortunately, it is over here. Okay, so now substitution 10,100 plus 10,220. Okay, now we have to add 10, 22, 0, 10, 100. This is 20, this is 3, this is 20. 20,000, 3, 2, 0. So we have to divide by 2. So division by 2 will give D5, which is the percentile of order 50, is going to be equal to half of this one, 20, 32, 0. So it will be 10, 160 by 2, so 160. So it is 10,160. So this is the decile of order 5, the value of which is 10,160. Okay, so that is the using the first method what we have obtained. Okay, so now again we are going to look for the second method. So it is another formula similar to this, but without using percentage. This one is going to use deciles. Okay, it is similar to this as I told you. And now let me put it over here. I hope it will be clear. So decile of order j, so the value is equal to, then we have two cases, 1 over 2 x sub j times n divided by 10 plus x sub j n over 10 plus 1. In case it has called rj remainder of the division of jn over 10 if it is equal to 0. Now if it is different from 0, we're going to have x sub jn minus rj over 10, so plus 1 sub this sub plus that one is going to be the decile of order j, the value. Okay, in which case, so in case rj is different from 0. Okay, so now it will be the second method 2. Okay, so now we no longer have to use this percentile formula, but we are going to use the decile formula as a second method. So what we have to do first, so we have to calculate remainder of the division jn over 10, remainder of the division of jn by 10. So now j, let us start by j equal to 2. J equal to 2. So we will have n is equal to 50. We have 2 times 50. We divide by 10. Of course, this is going to be 100 divided by 10. It is 10. You see that we are going to find the same sub as before, which is a half of x sub 10 plus x sub 10 plus 1 according to this formula. Okay, so as before, sub 10 is this value, and sub 10 plus 1 is x sub 11, which is again, where is it? Here. And when we add this one, we divide by 2, we're going to have d2. d2 is going to be equal to 7 to 40. So after calculation, the essential thing to do is to have the sub 10 sub 11 here. X sub 10 plus x sub 11. Here we divide by 2, we get the same decile value as before. Okay, in a similar manner, we can apply the same formula, and in case j equal to 6, okay, let us calculate. In case j equal to 6, what sub will we have? So if j is equal to 6, so we have this side of order 6, and then here we have, instead of 2, we put 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 300 divided by 10 is going to be equal 30, which means the first sub is 30, the next sub will be 30 plus 1, which will make x a half of x 30 plus x sub 31 divided by 2. So x sub 30 has been spotted out earlier, and we have found x sub 30 is this number, and when we get x sub 31, we add them, and when we take this number, add them, divide by 2, we're going to have 1105. In case 10, 10, 21, 21, 7, no, this one 30, 80, 0 plus 0, 3 times 8 is 11. I write 1, I carry 1. 7 plus 4 is 11. With 1 carried, it is 12. And I carry 1. And 0 plus 1 or 1 plus 0 is 1. With 1 I carried, it is 2. Then I have 1 plus 1 is going to be equal to this value. And this is twice the decile of order 6 as before. Okay, so this idea of percentile, this is not what we are using. We are using the second method. Okay, so now let us finally find the last one with j equal to 5. dj becomes d5, which is equal to, okay, depends on the division, jn over 10, which is j now is 5, and times 50 divided by 10, which is equal to 25, 220, 250 divided by 10, which is 25. So again, remainder is equal to 0. Remainder in this case, let us call rj equal to 0, so that we can use the first formula here. And in this case, it is going to be half of x sub gn. We have found it 25 plus x 26. So this is going to be a half of. So we have found x 25, x sub 25, 10,100 plus x sub 26 has been proven to be 10,220. Now when we add up these two values and divide by 2, so we obviously it's going to have to be 10,160. Okay. Now, before we, these are the two methods, new method that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. Now, so these are the two methods, and then next time, what are we going to talk about? So next time, we're gonna be talking about, again, measures of position in descriptive statistics, and it will be quartile. They will be quartile of order, suppose I. Quartile of quartile value for order or rank I. This rank I. So an example of quartile, so is a one particular case of a decile, which is at the same time a quarter, is when I is equal to some number like so it can be like J5. J5 corresponds to some quartile with I equal to, suppose 20, I is equal to 2, and then when you compare to J will be equal to 25 times I. And in this case, as I is equal to 2, is going to be 25 times 2. Maybe it is not clear here. After all, this is what I'm gonna be talking about. And in that case, what I'm saying is, for quartile of order I, so it is the same as percentile of order k when k is equal to 25 I. Okay, so now so it means k must be a multiple of 25, and I must range between 1 and 3. Okay, in that case, this is how. So again, we can have two methods: the one with using percentage, and another one using just not the percentage, just another formula that we are going to call method number 2. But you may guess what that formula will be. So we start by percentile, and then transform it into a quartile. So now this is the end of the video. So we're gonna meet next time talking about the quartile. Thank you.